Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. Elliot Ludwig is an overarching character of the Poppy Playtime franchise. He was the founder and overseer of Playtime Co., and an esteemed toy maker who desired to make children across the world happy with his toys. However, following his death, his company would come under the control of Leith Pierre, who would hire Ludwig's old protege, Harley Sawyer, not even knowing that this would lead the company into its eventual downfall. The two would initiate the Bigger Bodies initiative and transform orphan children into giant living toys to use as workers. The toys eventually retaliated and killed every worker in the factory. As a result, Playtime was closed for good, and Elliot's legacy and efforts were thus tainted. If you're interested in seeing more content about the legendary game universe, consider subscribing to the channel and giving it a like. And now, let's dive into some mind-blowing facts. Fact number 1. Elliot Ludwig was described in the Elliot Ludwig biography as divorced but a family man at heart, who overcame the tragic loss of his daughter. He was a hard-working man who often stayed behind at all hours in order to achieve his goals, essentially creating the empire that is Playtime Co. 2. Elliot Ludwig appears to have been inspired by Walt Disney, as well as Ole Kurt Christensen. 3. Elliot is unknown how Elliot Ludwig died. However, in the Chapter 4 Ice Pick ARG, Harley Sawyer is implied to be involved in his death. 4. Elliot Ludwig canonically divorced in 1930, as per the Game Jolt event. Elliot's ex-wife, Molly, is named after Mob Entertainment's old office dog, Molly. This would also mean that Ludwig was most likely born during the 1900s or even the 1890s. 5. Elliot Tape affirms the possibility that Poppy Playtime is his daughter, likely as part of Playtime Co.'s early human experimentation, though it can also be interpreted to refer to Leith Pierre as her father instead. 6. Elliot Ludwig was speculated to be affiliated with the Bigger Bodies experiments, particularly Huggy Wuggy, thanks to an email in the Chapter 3 Interactable ARG from Ludwig that read, "Hey Leith, one of those dang Huggy Wuggies is loose." But this email was redacted soon after by Mob Entertainment, not to mention that the email was sent long before the existence of the Bigger Bodies initiative or even Huggy Wuggy. So the content of this email is definitely not canon. That said, the Experiment 814 note found in Ludwig's office during Chapter 2 would imply that he was on board with the idea of human test subjects. However, it's unknown if Ludwig actually wrote this note. There's a common misconception that Ludwig must have been alive at some point in 1991 thanks to a child-made drawing in his office that includes the 1991 toy Mommy Longlegs. But in fact, this drawing was from a fan contest, meaning it wasn't officially made by Mob Entertainment, and the contest also stated that the drawings should be based in the 1980s, while the drawing in question shows a 1990s toy as stated. So all in all, the drawing and its contents is not canon. A misconception is that the unknown presenter in the vintage Poppy commercial is Ludwig, but simply comparing the voices of the two disproves this. In the official merchandise website, the newspaper notes that, like his namesake, he was a visionary and creative genius. It is unclear who exactly the newspaper is referring to, given that there are numerous well-known Ludwigs, possibly even referring to an entirely fictional one. Under Ludwig is even be German composer and pianist Ludwig van Beethoven or Austrian philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein, both being creative geniuses in their fields. There is a popular theory that Elliot Ludwig was transformed into the prototype. In the next issue, we will reveal more details about Elliot Ludwig's life. We will share how he came up with the idea to create a toy factory, how he became famous, and who destroyed his legacy.